is earlier when you said you were doing the mixed tapes and you spoke about copyright infringement. I've served time with guys in prison for copyright infringement. Yep. I'd like you to help us understand what level of research do you have to do? Let's say that I want to profile somebody else. Let's say I wanted to profile you and I didn't reach out to you and I just took your YouTube content and I took that into the prison. Would that be a violation of copyright law or YouTube policies, or is there something I should learn about that?
Yeah, well, all of our content is copyrighted. So everything you see on our YouTube channel, we actually mail in a copyright and pay to get it registered and so forth. You could create videos about me all day long. You could speak well about me or badly about me. That's fine. That there's literally thousands of videos like that out there about me. But at the point that you start to take our content and we upload it to your own YouTube channel, this is something we have to deal with all the time. We just dealt with this recently. We had a guy that was bashing us on his YouTube channel, and that's fine. But in the channel, there was a whole bunch of our content mixed in with this bashing. So what we do is we file something called copyright strikes against that content, where we basically, it's a form where we say, okay, this is where our content shows up. Here's our original content. I'm legally filling everything out. And, once YouTube gets that, they basically recognize and they take down the content. They essentially sometimes take down the entire channel of the person who's infringing. And this is not something we do maliciously, but we have to protect our property. This content costs thousands and thousands of dollars to create, and involves, half a dozen people between the whole process of setting up the interview, the research, the editing, the shooting, the writing, the promotion. A lot of people are employed by this. So we protect this, to our best ability. And you can't just grab stuff and you willy-nilly everywhere you want and just put it up as your own and think that you're going to get paid off that. Somebody owns that and somebody's going to protect that. So, I understand, as a mixtape DJ, I was putting out other people's songs and pressing up, a few hundred CDs and selling those. It never got to a very big level for me, but what I was doing was still wrong. And, at this point, it's past the statute of limitations, so I could talk about it without worrying. But, it was something that I think for me, you have to really realize what's a hustle and what's a career. And if what you have is a hustle, which most times to me implies that it's not completely legal, it's semi-legal or completely illegal, putting a lot of work into that is really like being on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. Sooner or later, the crash is going to be, the bigger you get, the worse the crash is going to be. So my whole thing is, yeah, I could have built a much bigger empire with these mixtapes and these, bootleg type products. But all that would mean is that I would probably go to prison at the end and I'd have to pay a much bigger fine at the end. So I didn't get as big as I could have in that, because I was thinking long term in this. It's much better to put all your energy into something that's actually legal and actually has an upward trajectory over time. Because once you do that, you never have to look over your shoulder. I never have to worry about getting charged with tax evasion. We pay our taxes. We have employees. We pay all the various things that we have to pay. We have lawyers. We do things properly. It costs a lot of money and it takes a lot of time, but long term, it just works out so much better for you than trying to cut corners and trying to do things that you shouldn't be doing.